Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Planning Central workshop. Okay, in this video, I will be talking about the collections process. Okay, let's have a quick look at the agenda of this particular session. So, after completing this particular session, you should be able to understand how to collect data and perform collections within Planning Central, and the different ways of importing data using files, that is flat files, FBDI we call it as file based data integrator, into Oracle Applications Cloud, and collect data from external systems and view the collected data. So once you collect the data, and how to view the collected data within the plan input work area, and there are some troubleshoot techniques that are provided for some of the common problems that you face during an implementations. Okay, so collections processing. All information required to run a plan is collected through collections. So all the master data as well as the transactional data. The transactional data is nothing but your demand and supply data. So your master data and transactional data, so all the information required to run a plan is collected through the collection process. Okay, so that is collections processing. Okay, now here you can see supply chain planning, and the supply chain planning offering is directly integrated with the respective offerings like the trading community architecture. We have costing, procurement, product data model, your PIM, product information management, inventory, logistics, manufacturing cloud, and order management cloud. So you have direct database level integration available from these different offerings. Okay, so you can run collections, select the respective objects you want to collect within the collections program, and they will be collected from the respective modules. You also have file-based import. The second approach is, if you don't have information set up in your manufacturing cloud, in your order management cloud, in your procurement cloud, or in your inventory cloud, then we give you a flexibility to import the data from external systems. The external system can be an integrated system, or it can be a complete standalone application. Okay, and where you want to bring the information from that standalone application into your planning cloud. So we follow the file-based import approach. We call it as FBDI, file-based data integration. Okay, we provide you Excel spreadsheets to bring data from external third-party applications into your cloud applications. Okay, now whenever you're collecting the data, you can see the different collection sources. So that means what are the different offerings that are available, and what are the respective business objects that we are going to collect from the particular offering. For example, you have purchasing cloud. So we will be collecting purchase orders, requisitions, your suppliers, ASL, approved supplier lists from your purchasing cloud. From inventory, you will be collecting your sub inventories, on hand, reservations, unit of measures. And from logistics, you will be collecting your shipping methods, your carriers, so all such information. So this particular slide talks about the different sources, nothing but your collection sources, and what are the respective business objects we are going to collect from those respective sources. Okay, so you can review this particular slide. From manufacturing cloud, we collect your work orders, work definitions, and resource availability along with the resource information. From product information management, you get your items, item structures, nothing but your bill of materials, relationships, organizations, catalogs. And from costing, you will be getting your item costs. And order management, you will be getting your booking history, shipment history, your sales orders, your transfer orders, right? So all those details. So these are all the different business objects that we are going to collect from these respective sources, right? Now, what is so basically how the collection process starts. So there are two stages in a collection process. Whether you're running the collection program directly and collecting the data from the different sources as we spoke in the above slide, or you are using a file import approach where you're getting the data from an external third-party application via an Excel spreadsheet, and you're trying to import that particular file into the staging table, right? So it is a two-step process. The two-stage collection process begins with information that is collected, okay, and pushed into a temporary staging table. So there is a temporary staging table. You run the collection, data from different sources will be automatically collected, and it will be stored in a temporary staging table. Or if you are bringing information from an external third-party application using Excel spreadsheets, that information will be loaded into the temporary staging table. Okay, then data is consolidated in these staging tables, and we run another concurrent request, or we call it as scheduled processes within cloud. Okay, and we run a scheduled process to load this particular consolidated information into an operational data store. We call it as ODS, which is in the planning destination, right? So where you can view the data within planning offering, right? So it is a two-step process. Bring information into a staging table. From staging table, you load into your ODS, operational data store. So the next step is performing collections. So how to perform collections? Okay, so I'm going into the application. So this is the home screen. Okay, and I'm getting into planning central work area, right? So within the Springboard options, I can see the supply chain planning option over here. Click on supply chain planning. Click on plan inputs. So the plan input work area will open. Expand the taskbar. Okay, and under plan inputs, you can see collect planning data. So this is how you initiate the collections program. Okay. Now the collections program is also a simple scheduled process, or we call it as a job set, collection of different or multiple scheduled processes. Okay, it is nothing but like a concurrent request set. Okay, we used to call it in eBusiness Suite. Okay, it is a collection job set, and this is the description. Fine. So this is the description of this particular process. You can provide certain submission notes. To start with, select the source system, that is OPS, the Fusion source system, right? So the Oracle Fusion source system, and the collection type. So whenever you are performing collections, we have two options available. There are two collection types. One is targeted collection type, and the second one is net change. So when you select a targeted collection, targeted collection is like first time when you're implementing planning, and you're running the collections for the first time. Then you go for a targeted collection type. Okay, so the targeted collection will refresh all the data, okay, for a selected business object. If any data is existing, it will purge the data and it will replace the existing data. First time you won't be having any data, so you'll collect all the data. Subsequently, if you want to refresh that particular data and purge the data, existing data, and you want to collect a new data and replace that new data with an existing data, then you go for targeted mode. Okay, so targeted collections are used to completely refresh data for the selected business objects. Okay, and net change is like an incremental data collection. So you're not going to collect everything, only those records and transactions that are modified from my last successful run, okay, will be collected in a net changed mode. Because it is an incremental data collection, this particular collection process is very fast, and entity specific collection from different Fusion sources. So this will help you to keep your planning data current, means like it will update and keep the planning data in current with the existing systems. Okay, now when you click on targeted mode, you can see different tabs available. Reference data is nothing but your master data. So when you are collecting your data, you have to collect your master data and your transactional data. So the reference data is nothing but your master entities, your items, item cost, item structures, your customers, your suppliers, your organizations, unit of measures, work definitions. These are all your master objects. So these master entities are part of your reference data. then you will also collect your transactional data, that is your demand data and your supply data, right? So the demand and supply data. Now when you go in a targeted collection mode, all three tabs are enabled for you to collection, and you can perform collections for all the objects within these tabs. If you go for a net changed mode, only certain entities are available for you for collection. For example, within the master data, that is reference data, net change is not applicable for collecting calendars, item cost, and different mappings, reference mappings, whereas the rest of the objects it is select. You cannot do a demand planning data collection using a net change mode, right? So these are the two different types of collections. Okay. Now coming to the reference data, as I said, these are all the different entities. You can move the reference entities to the selected entities, all the entities, or whatever entities you are interested in collecting. Okay, this is nothing but your master reference data. Now coming to the demand data. So the demand data has the demand planning data has different options available. So you have a different options over here, the collections time frame options. So the fixed date range, the first option is a fixed date range. So you can specify collect from this particular date to collect to date, means you can collect historical information within this particular date range. Okay, or if you don't want to specify fixed dates, you can specify rolling date range. Okay, collect historical information for a given number of days. Okay, for example, I want to collect the last 1 year of history, like 360 number of days, then I can say rolling date range. And roll off time periods automatically, that means you can roll off old periods as new one gets added. So when next month is means when we progress to next month, this year information, this month information will be historical information. So once this particular month is included, the first month means that the last year first month's history will be rolled off. So you can roll off old periods automatically as new ones get added, right? And the number of days to keep. So how much of historical information I want to keep? You can retain history for a given number of days. So for example, I want to retain history for 365 number of days. Generally a 2 to 3 year history is sufficient. Okay. Similarly, the different historical measures and attributes. So what are the shipment history measures you want to include for collection? Like shipment history by different dates, by ship date, by request date, promise date, or requested item by ship date. So you can select the different measures. So the information will be collected in these different dimensions. So each measure is nothing but a placeholder of data. So by different dimensions, you can collect data and store in these measures. Again, bookings history measures, booking history, booked item by book date, by promise date, by request date. So you can include those measures. You can include the different order types, collect amount data for history, and collect historical transfer orders. You can include those. If you want to include price list, you can include the price list. Include shipment history for options, bookings history for options, for configure to order, CTO scenario, and sales organization hierarchy. If you want to include, you can include the sales organization hierarchy as well, right? So these are the different options available in demand planning data, and this particular demand planning data historical information collection is available only in targeted mode. Okay, because in net change mode it won't be available, because history won't be changing. Whatever is recorded, whatever is available in the system, that is available, history won't be changing, right? So net change is not available for collecting the demand planning data, only it is available in targeted mode. So coming to the supply planning data, again the different supply entities are available, like what are your on-hand information, current on-hand, what are the different existing reservations, your purchase orders, how much you are expecting, okay, how much are the expected receipts and requisition, the POs and requisitions, what are the resources, resource availability, what are the sales orders, transfer orders, how much of a work order supplies you are expecting from your manufacturing units, right? So all the different supply entities are available. You can move the supply entities to the selected entities, or if you want to move all them, then you can move this particular all entities to the selected entities. For resource availability, you can specify from what date to what date you want to collect this particular availability of the resource information, right? So this is how you will be collecting your master reference data, your demand data, and your supply data, nothing but your transactional data. Okay, once you have selected your different entities, then you can submit this particular collection program. Now this particular collection program will run, or you can save it as a template. Every time you feel like you're selecting certain reference entities within the reference data, you configured certain planning demand planning data configurations, you have selected certain supply planning data configurations, certain selections, you want to save it as a template. So in your future runs, you want to reference that particular template and easily run the collection program, then you can save it as a template. And under collection templates, you can simply select a collection template. Okay, I can select a template, so all my template selections will be available over here. So that is collection templates. Okay, so the collection templates will help you, okay, to save a particular selection and use that particular template in your subsequent runs. So this is about collection templates. Now coming to collection filters, right? So you can use filters to improve collection performance and efficiency, right? For example, you don't want to collect information or all organizations, right? So you have an organization filter for collecting your items and item structures. You have an organization filter for transactional data. You can means like filter it out by customers, by customer class, your by catalogs, right? So there are different price lists. You can specify what price list you want to collect, right? So you can avoid accumulation of irrelevant data within your planning data repository. So whatever information you wish to collect, only those organizations you can include. For example, you want to collect only specific organization like 002 Atlanta, 003 Chicago, and 005 Dallas, right? You can include only those organizations, or you want to include all organizations, you can select all the organizations. So you have collection filters, okay, for your master data, means for example your items and item structures, okay, only from that particular organizations you can select. Your transactional data, so organization filter for transactional data, you have different filters available. Even for price list, you have different filters available. So you can use those filters to improve your collection performance and efficiency. Okay, these are collection filters, right? So if you noticed, there are a couple of tabs at the top. One is parameters tab. So we talked about all the different options in parameters, and you have schedule tab. Like you can submit it to immediately run this particular collection program, or you can schedule this particular program. Okay, you can use a schedule. You can set a frequency like daily or weekly or monthly, at what time you want to means like run this particular program on a weekly basis. You can customize the times and all of those things. So this program will be scheduled, and as per your desired schedule, this collection program will be running with the selected parameters. So that is means like how you run collections. Once you submit a collection program, then it will start collecting the information, and it will a set of concurrent programs will run, and you can see how the particular program is running. And if there are any errors, you can review the output and the log file of the particular concurrent program. Okay, now I'm not going to means like run this particular program. Maybe I can run in net change mode. Okay, or let me do it in a targeted mode, it's fine. If I submit this particular concurrent program, somewhere I forgot to specify the end date. Okay, in the schedule, right, as soon as possible. I don't want to put any schedule over here. Click the submit program. So this is the process that got submitted, and click on OK. So how to view the concurrent program? So go there, go to the navigator, click on more. Under tools, you have scheduled processes. Okay, so you can see the schedule process. Based on my selection, it will extract the different entities information. So extract master information, collection job set. It will fire different entities based on my selection. All entity information will be collected. We keep on refreshing the data, and see, these are all succeeded. Keep refreshing. Right, that information will be available. You can see a lot of programs. It is still running. So you can see collection job set or extract master. Once you click on any concurrent program, if there are any output, you can see the output. If there are any errors, okay, you can also have the error file generated. You can click on it and you can see and review those errors. Fine. This is how you run the collection program and review the collection program. Okay. Let me go back. So performing collections. So we talked about the couple of collection types available. One is net change and targeted mode. Okay, there are two modes of running collections, and we have different recommendations for net change or targeted collections. You can go through these descriptive content. Okay, and while running the collections, so most of us are already aware, like before collecting the transactional data, you have to collect the master data, right? So there are dependent objects, or there are dependent master configurations that needs to be collected before collecting the child objects, right? So there are 3 slides describing what are the different objects or the sequence of objects that you need to collect while performing the collections, right? So if you are selecting all the objects, for example, in the reference entity, you are selecting all the objects, and in the supply data tab and the demand data tab, you are selecting all the information and all the objects. Then collection programs is intelligent enough to collect the master data first, that is the prerequisite object first, then collect the subsequent objects. If you are including only specific objects, then you have to see that the respective master data is already available before you collect the transactional data, right? So these 3 slides, so there are 3 slides describing the collection sequence over here. So within a particular source system like the Fusion source system, there are certain user setups you will be doing in the initial stages, like you will create the organizations, you will load or create the unit of measures, you will load or create the items in your product model, customers, load your customers or create customers in your trading community model, right? Once you define those basic setups, then you start creating or collecting different information, right? You will collect customer information, items, unit of measures, your calendars. Then after collecting the item information, you will be collecting the item structures, that is a bill of materials, your category catalog associations, item relationships, and safety stock. Okay, similarly for organization, once you collect the organization, you'll select the different sub inventories, your suppliers, okay, supplier sites, all of those things. So once you collect all the master data, then you start collecting the transactional data. That is your sales orders, your planned orders, your transfer orders, your purchase orders, your work orders, and the department resources and all of those things. Okay. So this is the sequence, and calendar upload sequence is also available over here. So this is the sequence you need to understand while you are performing the collections. Okay. So most of the issues you will be facing during your implementation is you are trying to collect certain information even before collecting the prerequisite object, right? So this particular slide or these slides will help you in understanding the collection sequence which you need to follow or respect while performing collections, right? Again, this is a screenshot of a running collections program. So the collection type we talked about, collection filters we talked about to improve the performance and efficiency, right? And we talked about reference data, so how to include the desired entities into the selected entities. And we talked about collection templates. A lot of descriptive content is available within the presentation. I request you to go through the descriptive content. Okay, I'm not going to read through this. Okay, fine. And collection filters and all of those things. And if you're still looking for detailed steps, so what are the detailed steps, step-by-step process to perform targeted collections? So A step-by-step process is clearly mentioned within these slides, so you can follow that. Navigate to the planning central, uh, and click on the planning work area, select the source system, select the collection type. So if you have any previously defined template, apply that. Use the collection filters, right? Go to the demand planning tab, use these different options to collect historical information, fixed date range, or means rolling date range, or you want to roll off time periods automatically, and select the different historical information, shipment history, bookings history. And uh, in the supply planning tab, move the supply entities to the selected entities, save your selection, save it as a template, set any frequency, desired scheduled frequency you want, okay, for running the collections, and submit to start the collection program, and monitor the status of the collections program, and review the collected data in the planning work area. Okay, so these are all the different programs that will be triggered or fired, right? Collection job set, extract the master, extract the Oracle Cloud entities. So it will extract all the entities, it will load the entities into the staging tables, and it will create trees for dimensions, right? So these are all the programs that means like you will be seeing while running the collection programs. Okay, so it is still running. You can see a lot of extract master, load master. So these collection job set, so these are still running. Once it is completed, depending upon the amount of data and the number of objects you selected for running the collections, it will take a certain time to finish. Okay, so these are the different collection, okay, respect to schedule processes that will be triggered, right? Similarly, for net change mode, same kind of detailed steps are presented over here in these slides. Okay, you can go through that. So detailed steps performing the net change, you can see that. Okay, and I also showed you how to run the collections program. Okay, so this is how you run means like collection program to collect data from other cloud applications. Okay, for example, manufacturing cloud, purchasing cloud, inventory cloud, procurement cloud, and product hub. Okay, so all of these modules. So in the next so this in this topic I will be talking about means like how to import data using FBDI templates. Okay, so the lot of data or the lot of object information you can import from an external third-party applications into your cloud applications, right? We call it as FBDI approach. Okay, so for that we need to go to docs.oracle.com. Okay, where you get the documentation for cloud. Click on cloud, click on applications. If you're looking for a respective offering, okay, go to that particular offering. I'm looking for supply chain management, SCM core. Okay, you can select the release 11, 12, release 13. Okay, update 17B. 17 is the year, A, B, C, D are the different quarters. So first quarter is A, second quarter is B, third quarter, fourth quarter. Okay, fourth quarter is the latest release. I can click on books. Okay, so you get all the means like information like the administration, the configuration and extension of the application, the development, implementation guides, okay, the user guides, security reference manuals, so implementation for innovation management, implementation guide for order management, for product management, planning. So all implementation guides, security guides, user guides are all available in docs.oracle.com for a particular offering, for a particular version. Okay, now if I'm looking for file-based data import, so any technical information is available under development section. Like if you're looking for REST APIs, if you're looking for SOAP web services, if you're looking for tables and views that are available in a particular offering, you can see the that information displayed under development section. So what are the different file-based data import, FBDI, Excel spreadsheets available to import data from an external system, third-party applications into cloud. Okay, click on show details. It will give you some description. You can click on HTML. So you're in a file-based data import for supply chain cloud, management cloud. You can review the details like external data integration services, view details and all. So this will give you a clear idea about what is FBDI, how you want to initiate the process, and how you can run the process, and how loading of data into the tables. All of these things are explained. You can review all those details. Okay. So what are the different objects for which we are supporting is provided under file-based data imports, right? So the list of objects are available under this particular file-based data imports. The same you can see on the left-hand side, or the same files are available under this particular list, right? So FBDIs within supply chain management cloud, you have a lot of FBDIs available. Like innovation management, you have ideas. You can import your inventory reservations, inventory transactions, items, item structures from maintenance. Like enterprise asset management is nothing but maintenance cloud, right? Your price list, product concepts, proposals, your sales orders. So within your planning, in supply chain planning, there are a lot of objects you can import from external systems using these FBDI templates, right? So you can import your bookings history, calendars, carriers, catalogs, causal factors, your currencies, item cost structures. So all of these things can be imported, like your price list within supply chain planning, reservations. For any, you can take any of these files. For example, I want to load safety stock. So click on safety stock levels. So it will give you the details of this particular file. Okay, you can see the information over here. What is the exact template? The template is available. I can download the template. That particular template is downloaded. Okay, click on this particular template. So this is the Excel spreadsheet if you want to update safety stock. So you can see Fusion application release 13. For supply chain planning upload, you want to upload safety stock levels. Overview of this particular session or particular file, and how to prepare the table data, how to load the data. Each and every detailed information, means like a detailed information is provided, okay, within the instructions and CSV generation tab. Each and every step is documented beautifully, okay. And you can see the Excel template formats. What are the formats this particular spreadsheet will accept? The year formats, whether they're going to use a decimal separator, or if you want to have any unique columns or mandatory columns, okay. All of these things will be available here. And recommendations for data loading, you also get certain recommendations, right? So the safety stock level, if you go to the actual tab, here you can see the different columns available, right? So organization code you have to fill, source system, from what source system you are uploading, what is the item, what is the effectivity date, what is the safety stock quantity, delete indicator. Now for each of these columns, you can see the description over here. So the first 9 rows, you can say it is all descriptive content, okay. Like what is the description, whether what is the data type it is accepting, whether it is a character, it is a date format or a number format. And these are all the different modules, like global order promising, planning central, sales and operations planning, demand planning, supply planning, right? So what module is using this particular column, or for a particular module, whether this is required or not, okay. All of those details are documented over here. And the actual data, this is sample data, you will be filling the actual data over here. Okay. Once you fill the actual data, you go to the generate CSV file instructions tab. So after you finish preparing the data, create a zip file, or click the generate CSV file button. You have to generate the CSV file, then zip that particular file and upload that into UCM server, okay. So you have to load that particular file. Once you fill that file, zip it. So every file have a specific UCM path, Universal Content Manager. So each file has a specific UCM path. So you have to load that particular file in a particular path. So the system will understand this particular file is for that particular object. So you go back to the application. Okay. For example, you go to the navigator. Again, you go to more. Then you click on file import and export. So the zip file you have generated, you will be uploading that for that particular zip file into UCM account. File import and export. You will choose the zip file, whatever zip file you created, and you have to select the respective UCM account. Okay. So there are a lot of accounts for different business objects. So you have to select your respective UCM account. For example, what is SCM planning data loader import. Okay, so this is the UCM account, right? Let me cross check. SCM planning data loader import. So this is the UCM account where exactly you have to put this particular file. Once you upload that particular file, it will be uploaded into the UCM account. Then you have to navigate to Planning Central. So go to the home page, supply chain planning, click on plan inputs, and click on load planning data from files. The first option is directly running collections. It will collect data from the respective cloud offerings. If you are importing data from external systems using flat files, that is FBDI files, okay, so you have to load planning data files from the FBDI files. So you can select the source system from where you are loading. JD Edwards, you have to define those source systems first. Okay, fill that source system in the spreadsheet from what source system you are importing. Okay, and once you select that, while collecting information using spreadsheets, you also have collection type, like whether it is targeted mode or net change mode, right? Automatic selection, it is if the system is intelligent enough. If it is existing, it will, nothing is changed, then it will leave as it is. If something is changed, then it will update that information, right? So you have a collection type available when you import data using Excel spreadsheets, right? And that particular data file, whatever you imported into UCM account, you will be getting that particular file. Select that particular file, submit the scheduled process. Once it is submitted, the data is available within your Planning Central. So those are the two ways. Okay, if you remember, if I go back to my first screen, the first way is running collections, getting information into staging and loading into ODS. Second way is via file-based data import, FBDI. So you get the file, fill the file, and with the relevant information, zip it, put it in UCM, and load that file into staging table and subsequently into the operational data store. So this is the second way. Okay. So file import template. So we talked about all of these things, the instructions and CSV generation and the information section of that particular file, where you enter the data, and different collection modes even while running or importing data using FBDIs, right? Each and every step, okay, all the steps are documented here. You can go through that, enter the data in the XLSM template, okay, and the create a zip bundle, go to navigator tools, file import export, upload in the respective UCM content. You can find the UCM path, okay, from the file itself. You downloaded the file from here, the UCM of this account of this particular file is available there only. Okay, then navigate to load planning data from for file tasks in Planning Central. Okay, so while loading, you can select the collection type, select the data file, submit the request, monitor the request. Okay, so this is how you'll see the request. If there are any output and log files, you can click on that. Any errors are there, you can simply open the TextPad or Notepad++. You can review the errors, and accordingly you can correct or modify the data in the Excel spreadsheet and re-upload that particular file. Okay, so this is about different ways of collections. One is directly running the collections. The second one is uploading data or collections using file-based data import. So the next topic is data upload for external source systems. Okay, so we have a planning cloud, and we can import data from different source systems like external source systems. There is an external source system A, B, and C. So from another one source system, we're getting manufacturing data using file-based data import. We are importing data using file-based data import, like purchasing data, inventory data, and demand data from different source systems, right? So you have to define these source systems. right? So when you define these source systems, for example, in the application, so there is a task called manage planning source systems. So click on manage planning source systems. Okay. So these are all the different source systems. The destination system is always OPS, that is planning central. Okay. So if you want to define a new source system, you can specify the code. What is the code? Okay. And the time zone, and you can define what kind of system this is. Like if you are specifying the version as others, okay, means if you are defining a system that is already integrated with your planning cloud, manufacturing cloud, trading community architecture, okay, TCA. Okay. And if it is external, means if it is an external source system that is completely an standalone application, so there is no integration available. It is a completely standalone application which is not at all integrated with any of your cloud products. If there is a system which is already integrated with other cloud products, then you can define the source system, specify whether it is an order orchestration type fulfillment or order capture. You're using it for fulfillment or you're using it for order capture, right? So you can see the different types of source systems available: others and external. External is a standalone system not integrated with any of the cloud products. Other source systems are also external source systems, but they're integrated with some of our cloud products, like order management cloud, your trading community architecture, your product hub, planning center cloud applications. Okay. So this particular slide talks about the managed source system version others. When it is others, the source system must be integrated with Oracle Product Information Management, Trading Community Architecture, and Oracle Order Management Cloud. When it is external, it is not integrated with any of the cloud products, okay, and it is a purely a standalone system, right? So this is the screenshot of it. And for source systems, the supply entities. Okay, for two types of source systems we talked about, right? What are the supply entities that are supported using FBDI? So these are all the different supply entities I can upload using file-based data import for both type of external source systems, whether it is other or whether it is external. For others and external, both type of source systems, all supply entities I can use FBDI. Similarly, for demand entities, for both type of source systems, I can use these FBDI templates for loading my bookings history, shipment history, price list, causal factors, forecast, all of these things. There are certain entities that can be uploaded only for external version of source systems, means from only standalone systems. These are the FBDI templates I can use, okay? Because if it is already integrated with your cloud applications, collection process will get that information using the collection program. That is the reason all that information, these templates are used only for standalone source systems which are not integrated with your cloud products. Okay. So once you collect the information, you can generate plans for external source systems. So while you create a plan, you can select the source system. What is the source system and what are the different organizations of that particular source systems. Okay. And you can select the different organizations of those source systems, okay, for running the plans. So while defining the source systems, how to upload the organizations defined in those source systems. Okay, so you can create organizations if the source system is others, means it is already integrated with cloud, order management and product information management. You can simply create organizations and use an FBDI, that is organization file-based data import, to provide the link between those organizations. For example, you have a file-based data import for organizations. So supply chain planning, you can click on organizations. So this is supply chain planning organizations. Download the supply chain planning organization template, click on the template. These are the organizations. So you can specify the source system and the organization code. So you can use this particular template. So a source system is already defined because it is an external source system. Okay, you have to define it under manage maintain the source systems. You define the source systems and use this template to upload the different organizations under that source systems. Okay, so use FBDI template for loading your source systems and linking those source systems to the organizations, to the respective organizations. So that's how you bring data into cloud. Okay, so you define organizations and systems that are not connected. You will be using flat files. The system source system association with organization is used. It will be using the flat files for that linking. Okay, so we have seen on the data upload and how to view the collected data. So once you perform collections, so collections ran successfully, and how to view the data, or how to view the data that is collected as part of your FBDI approach. Whatever way you follow, whether you imported data using file-based data import or you performed collections to collect the data, how to view the data. So you have to go to Planning Central. So you can see the Open tab. Click on the Open Full Pane mode. Right. So here you have a lot of serial tables available, right? For example, suppliers. You want to see the supplier information. So there is a serial table available like suppliers. Click on supplier. Again, you have search criteria. You want to use the search criteria to filter out your suppliers, or you can do a blank search. Okay. So this search criteria can be used to filter out the suppliers and search for the suppliers. You have different layouts available, or if you want to see other information like items, you have to simply search for those details. You can do a blank search for all the different serial tables, or let's say items or something like that. Click on items. Again, you have blanks. You have a different search criteria. You can do a blank search over here if you want. So these are the items that are collected, right? You can do different actions like you can drill to different other seeded tables, like you can see the items and item structures, routings. Okay, or you can export all the details to Excel spreadsheet. You can have different layouts. So information that is collected like item information. Item has a lot of attributes. It is difficult to display all the information in a single screen. So we have different layouts. Certain layouts will give you default attributes of an item. Certain layouts you can have for specifying the lead times of an item. Okay, so whatever desired attributes you want to see, those layouts can be used. These are all seeded layouts, but you can manage and create your own custom layouts, right? So you can create your custom layouts to display the desired attributes of a particular item, right? So this is how you will see the information that is collected as part of the collection process, or information that is uploaded as part of your file-based data integration, right? And there is also one more way, that is maintain your supply network model. So the supply network model will show all the information that is collected as part of your organizations, the organizations that are collected, the customers that are collected. Okay, again you can see the suppliers here, the suppliers that are collected, the carriers, and your shipping networks, right? So all the information that are collected, okay, will be available within supply network model. The supply network model contains the different nodes of your supply network, nothing but your suppliers, your manufacturing facilities, or your distribution centers, your customers, and your shipping networks. So all of the details are provided, or information is displayed as part of your maintained supply network model. The rest of the information is available within Planning Central. You can go to the actions, the open option, open in full view mode. There are a lot of seeded tables are available, and you can create your custom tables as well. So that is covered as part of configuration of analytics. Okay, there is a separate session for that, how to create your custom tables and the graphs and all. But a lot of tables are available, seeded tables, so you can review the tables over there. For example, let me, so you can see the tables, all of these tables. You can simply search for those tables and review the data stored in those tables. Okay, so this is how you will see the or view the data that is collected as part of the collections program. Again, detailed steps are given how to view the data. Go to plan inputs, actions, open, search box, enter the business object to view the collected data, select the relevant page and search the results, click on OK. And you also have supply network model where you can see the different elements or objects of your supply network. Okay, organizations, customers, suppliers, carriers and shipping networks. Okay. And the last topic is troubleshooting common collection programs. So some of the examples like so these are some of the common issues that you face during your implementation. So scenario one is like, after I collected purchase orders, okay, why can't I find my new purchase orders in supplies and demand? So the solution is check whether the suppliers are also collected for your new purchase orders. Go to plan input suppliers, search whether the new suppliers are available. If you have not collected the new suppliers, then those purchase orders created, okay, for the new suppliers will not be available, right? Similarly, I collected resource availability. Why isn't resource availability visible in the plan inputs? Okay, before collecting the resource availability, you have to run a scheduled process called update resource availability schedule process in manufacturing cloud. Once you run that, information will be collected as part of the collections program. Similarly, data collections. I have problems finding customers in the supply network model. I also can't find regions and zones. Okay, beginning release 13, customers and geography data must be collected from cloud source system. Run a collect planning data and include customers and geographies. So within the collections program, within the master reference entities, you have to include customers and geographies. If you have not included that, then customers will not be included within your collection output. I have problems collecting dropship data, right? Dropship purchase orders, sales orders are not collected. Solution, define the dropship validation organization. Confirm that your item is assigned to the dropship validation organization. So you create a dropship validation organization, or it can be a master item organization, collect that organization, enable that as a dropship validation organization in Planning Central. Okay, so that is the solution. So like that, a few solutions are available. Okay, so troubleshooting techniques we can say. So for some of the common problems, you can review those issues and the related solutions. Okay. So in this particular video, we talked about a collections program. Okay, how to import data using files and different types of external systems. Okay, other external systems. Okay, or a purely a standalone external system, an external system that is already integrated with manufacturing cloud, or an external system that is not at all integrated with any of the cloud applications, right? So we talked about those different types of external systems and view collected data in the plan inputs work area. Once collections successfully run, how to view the data and some of the troubleshooting techniques. Okay, this is the summary of this particular video. Thank you.